What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here. Hope everybody is doing well, and wanted to do a video today and talk about this Reddit post that's right behind me that went out yesterday, 21 hours ago now, from when I'm recording this video here. But it talks about issues that need resolved or acknowledged. And this was made by Easier, so shout out to him or Dacier in the Discords here. I'm appreciated him showing me this post and of course asking my opinion on it. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that's talked about here are impactful issues, I think, to gamers at different levels. I think some of these things affect players more, like some other players more than others. But really, just going throughout this post, man, there's a lot of stuff here that just screams to me like missed opportunities, broken promises, loss of goodwill because of the missed opportunities and the broken promises. Missed opportunities, what I mean by that is you made a mistake. You could have ultimately fixed the mistake really quickly, but instead you didn't, and you didn't really do anything about it, so therefore you lost the goodwill. The biggest issue for me on this list right here is going to be character availability and character farmability. I'm also going to share a post that I did share as well with the devs that towards the end of last month here that I think would solve our character availability problem. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that as well. But let's actually dive into this list here and talk about a couple of these things. So I know some of these issues have been acknowledged, but they still haven't been fixed yet. And I know there's a lot to post, So post what might have been missed and not listed, and I'll try to keep it updated here. So the first thing he mentioned was the Dazzler milestone. This was a big one a couple months ago here, right? So people spend $5 to complete the event at the end of the event to get all the rewards. So what happened, right? At the end of the Dazzler, the Rolling Rebel milestone event, the month-long event for Dazzler here, the day when the Mighty Thor month-long event was supposed to go live here, players were able to purchase an offer, a $5 offer that was supposed to be going towards Mighty Thor. It ended up actually going towards the Dazzler milestone that was already ended. That gave them extra points for it. They removed the offer from the store as soon as they found out, so players were not able to log in and buy that $5 offer. So players missed out on being able to, achieve and then complete that Dazzler milestone, which is a big deal, right? Because that last milestone is like the Armory 16 orbs, the fully crafted gear. That's a pretty big deal, right? If you missed out on that. They mentioned it in the blog, but they never really did anything about it, right? The only thing they did there was, okay, they removed the players that were able to spend the $5 offer and complete the milestones from the leaderboard, but they never really gave out compensation for players that could have purchased it that didn't purchase it, right? So if players get an unfair advantage, then one of the things that they should do is then make sure that there's compensation, I would think, to other players that were not able to take advantage of that, in my opinion, just to make it fair. So they didn't do that, and that's something that's definitely frustrating, I think, for me and for you guys, right? There's a Gambit shard issue, so people received a varying amount of shards for no reason. This is currently right now, so this website right here, which I pulled up, there's like a plethora of issues. It's called like their known issues here as it pertains to Marvel Strike Force. This one that he's talking about specifically though, I just lost it. So let me pull this back up here. So this one is talking about the random amount of Gambit shards here. So we receive reports from players wherein they are claiming that they are getting a random amount of shards. Our team is looking into it, and once there's an update, we will share it accordingly at our blog. So this still has not been addressed. So what happened here is that there were a bunch of players that got essentially just like random Gambit shards in their in-game mail. They also got some mega orbs, some other resources as well in their in-game mail, which, by the way, I believe is part of the reason why the Summer of Thunder, as you listed it here, the Summer of Thunder event had the issue where players were able to complete the Summer of Thunder event on day one. I think that was because of the Gambit rewards, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I think that's what caused it. But players were able to get random Gambit shards, random mega orbs, and they never really sent out compensation to players who were not able to receive that, right? And that's a big deal. Like, once again, players receive an unfair advantage. It's only fair that you also send out compensation to other players that did not receive that unfair advantage to even the playing field, in my opinion. What they did instead, though, was that they opened up the store again. So players that did not get to open up their Gambit orbs because they concluded the event for Gambit too early, they opened up the store so that players could use those orbs, but really nothing addressing the Gambit shards and the randomness of that. Then there's the raid season milestone rewards right now. As he mentioned here, it looks like the old milestone rewards before characters were in the rewards. So if we jump into the milestone rewards right now, we knew that Ghost Spider was going to be coming out. We knew that they were no longer going to be doing raid season milestones characters. At least that's what they said. I'm sure that could change in the future, right? But looks like it reverted back to what the old milestones were. So it looks like you're getting less raid credits. You're not getting teal orbs. Some of the orange gear is missing too, right? There's a lot of stuff here that's like really the old rewards before or prior to Silver Surfer and Ghost Spider. What we thought would happen is that the new raid milestones would then take away the characters, that you would still keep the same amount of resources. So now we're getting less resources, and there was nothing that they said that they didn't prep us for, right? They didn't say, hey, this is gonna happen. They didn't say, hey, it's a mistake after it happened. Nothing has been talked about whatsoever, really. So in my opinion, definitely something that needs to be addressed and needs to be talked about. If they did, I missed it, but I definitely haven't seen anything that's really that I would warrant as, hey, we screwed this up, or hey, this was intentional, that I've seen so far. Then there's a calendar issue. Are we able to claim all the days since it was reset back to day one? Of course, the first calendar that went out here did not have any gold in it. I guess they thought that the best way to fix it was then to do another calendar that would then include the gold, which gives some extra resources, but it's also like, now are we gonna be missing 2 days or a couple days or whatever, because the days are gonna be cut short here towards the end of the month. Like, how is that gonna work out, right? So no real sort of like plan, it seems like, when it comes to that. War Season T4s, it was acknowledged that this would be adjusted, but it still hasn't been for 4 days left. So my understanding here is that they are going to be making these changes, I think, in the next patch to go live properly, or for the next war season. My thing is, are you going to send compensation for players that are not, for what we're not going to be getting here once the war season is over, right? Now, are we going to be getting that compensation, getting that in a compensation format? That is very unclear. Doom 3 bugs. It was acknowledged that Adam Warlock, who was applying Disrupt on special, and the Greg issues would be resolved on next patch, but they didn't acknowledge Psylocke's passive, which currently is working on Jubilee, which it shouldn't be, which is really annoying, because you kind of want to control Jubilee, well, mainly Beast in that first wave, but Jubilee can definitely be a problem too, because she can blind. Like, you want to be careful with her, right? But whenever you get her below 50%, Psylocke's throwing evade and then counter on her, which is not supposed to happen. But there's also some other issues too, like Bishop right now sometimes doesn't lose his taunt when he's supposed to lose his taunt in the raids. There's also the issue where there's this like random soft lock taunt thing. So like a character will gain taunt, but then you can't attack the character that has taunt. It's like it's a random character that you have to target in the game. Like, it's really weird and strange. But once again, they didn't acknowledge that portion of it, which is something that has been reported to them. They did not acknowledge that, but they've acknowledged these other things. So it concerns me now that we're gonna have to wait another patch again, right, for Psylocke to be fixed, or wait another patch for that soft lock thing with the taunt to be fixed again, because it was not mentioned in their Doom 3 bugs and their Doom 3 reporting. Character availability, the biggest one, right? So currently no farmable character on the first Wednesday, which is a broken promise that they said from the very beginning that this was going to be something that was going to happen on a weekly basis at the first Wednesday of every single month. Back to like 2020, there was going to be a character that's going to become farmable. Additionally, right, Gambit is not in any orbs, while Mighty Thor was added to the premium, the basic, the mega orbs, etc. So they essentially skipped Gambit, and then Icarus and Cersei listed as being farmable back from May. And what he's talking about here is this post where they talked about character availability cadence, that they were going to make these characters for the following characters in the coming weeks and months: Lady Deathstrike, Shang-Chi, Icarus and Cersei, Magic, Ghost Spider, Spider-Punk, Star-Lord. So far, they've made these 4 characters that were listed after Icarus and Cersei farmable, but Icarus and Cersei are not farmable. Shang-Chi and Lady Deathstrike, fine, but what about Icarus and Cersei? It's close to a year now that they've been released, and they're still yet to be farmable. And the Gambit thing, that's just absurd to me. But one of the things that I shared with the devs back to the end of last month here was an issue in regards to farmability. And this is what I shared with them. I said, I think the group at Boundless needs to establish a cadence for character farmability. Something like the day the character is released in offers, or when the character event goes live, character becomes farmable within 1.5 months or 2 months. It seems too random, but forgive me for some of the typos here, or grammar issues. It was 4 a.m. in the morning when I sent this message. It seems too random right now, which is causing the player base a lot of frustration. An established cadence sets the right expectations from the player base, creates ease of mind, and would prevent this massive backlog of unfarmable characters, Icarus Cersei. It would also be a really nice gesture to the community and give you back some goodwill. The next step, of course, would then be to make sure that you follow through on the following cadence, right? So they gotta act. So if you're gonna do it, you also gotta follow through on it. I think that would definitely solve the issue, in my personal opinion. And for you to say like, hey, a month and a half or 2 months is too soon, it's not, guys. Players are whales and krakens are gonna spend the money and buy the offers for the characters anyways. Not just the original character offers, the secondary offers that pop up. They're gonna buy those offers as well too, guys. So they're gonna be let them be a month and a half to 2 months ahead of the game. But then for free-to-play players, once they finally become farmable, we still have to farm them, right? Like free-to-play players still have to farm them. I'm not free-to-play, but I'm a light dolphin, right? A baby dolphin. So when it comes to like players are gonna have to farm the characters anyways to be able to get the shards, to be able to get enough shards for them. Like Jesus, man, like why just not establish a proper cadence where players can have an expectation of what to receive, when to receive it? In my opinion, the way they have it currently is constituted right now, it's not working. They need to fix it. And this is my opinion, is probably one of the reasons why a lot of players are actually quitting, because they cannot get character shards in a reliable fashion. Look at Hulkbuster. How long are we gonna have to wait to be able to get Hulkbuster shards? Like, his event was trash, and now we're gonna have to wait another 8-9 months before he becomes farmable, maybe a year or so before he becomes farmable. Look at Echo's event, right? Look at some of the Agatha's event, Sunfire's event, all these characters, right? Now I know Echo's supposed to become farmable soon based on data mines, but man, like I'm just looking at stuff like this and I'm like, this has got to be one of the reasons why a lot of players are quitting, because of the character availability and farmable issues. And then to finish this stuff off here, there's supposed to be X-Men shards in the double down milestones, which is something that Senior Archangel said that would be fixed here, but that wasn't necessarily rectified properly. Along with the gaming shards, there were also several other items and calendars that were mysteriously added to people's accounts, such as mega orbs and calendars, which was also mentioned as well. When you press the raid notification, the 7-day login doesn't work and you can't sim. You have to manually go to the home screen of MSF and then back to raids in order to get sim available. So that seems like an AI issue there. Multiple pop-ups for war results. This happens a lot. It's kind of annoying. With the shift of the event starting times 3 hours early, it affects the later war zone, which is a big issue, especially with some of the events right now that they have going live. So primarily, for instance, the She-Hulk event right now, the Power of Attorney event, there's a little bit of an issue there, but players are missing out on being able to claim certain items in time because of the shift in the time zone. It actually negatively impacts certain war zones there. Order of operations in regards to character placement, for example, Bionic Avengers, if Hulkbuster is placed after Vision, he will go stealth and not throw out defense down first, which is a major issue in some of these nodes. So you have to put Hulkbuster to the far on the right side, and then put, well, for you it's gonna be your right, but you have to put Hulkbuster on the far left here. I'll show you what I'm talking about in terms of placement, just so you guys can understand. So for Hulkbuster, in order for the order of operations to work correctly, so that he can throw offense down instead of actually going before Vision's stuff procs, you have to make sure that you put Hulkbuster all the way over here. The God, of course, taking forever now, but you get my point, right? Like, you have to put Hulkbuster all the way over here in order for the order of operations to work correctly. Otherwise, you're kind of going to get screwed with Vision's passive procking first, which definitely wouldn't help, because you're not going to be able to get the offense down from Hulkbuster. And then, of course, after events end with costume credit pop-ups, that's an issue. Unused special costumes will be cashed in to regular costume. This occurs even when no credits get converted over. And then offers, there's always an issue with offers here. Offers will display incorrect images, such as orbs, which will be for G16, but it displays for G17 pieces. This has been a constant issue. It's like simple, and just make sure. There's so many offers even in the store right now that are just listing incorrect information. It's really like that's like stuff like that is just really simple things. Quick check your work, make sure it works right, guys. So what are your guys' thoughts on all of these topics here? There's so much to go through here. I could have unpacked a little bit more on each individual topic here, but it was such a long post and there were so many issues that it's astonishing really at times. So what are your thoughts on a lot of these things? The biggest thing for me is really character farmability, character availability. I think I could probably forgive a decent amount of this stuff if character availability was better. Honestly, if character availability was better, I think I could probably forgive a lot of these items. The Doom 3 thing would still piss me off, right? The raid season milestones, the War T4s, stuff like that will still get to me. But man, I'm telling you, the character availability, if you fix that one thing, I think in a lot of ways, I could probably would be a little bit more receptive to forgiving some of these other stuff that's going on. But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Leave a like, of course, that helps the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed as well. That also helps me to be able to get more videos to you. And of course, comments also help the YouTube algorithm and help the video to be pushed out as well. Definitely want to make sure that we're all united on this front here in regards to some of these issues that are here. So please do that. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can know when my videos also do go live, guys. All right, guys, appreciate you watching this video. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye.